Good day, all of you. Today, we are trying to help you master the presentation secrets of Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs has always been considered as one of the best corporate speakers and presenters of all times. Every presentation that he used to give used to increase the share price of his company and increase the number of sales of iPhones, iPads, and MacBooks. And that is why his presentations have always been held as the benchmark of presentations. So, what are his secrets? And what are those secrets which you can apply in your presentations and make yourself elevate yourself from a normal presenter to $1 million presenter? Let us start with this particular concept. You are nothing if you cannot communicate your ideas. So even if you have the best idea in your brain, you might be the most creative, most innovative person in the room, but all of that amounts to nothing if you cannot share those ideas with the people around. That is why it is very, very important that you should be able to speak your mind out, speak effectively. Number one secret of Steve Jobs. He used to give the structure of the presentation at the very beginning. Look at how I started the meeting. I said, today you'll be getting the presentation secrets of Steve Jobs. 10 to 12 points I will be giving you so that all of you can become amazing presenters. Now your mind is waiting for those 10 to 12 points. That is how you hook your audience. And that is what Steve Jobs, in almost all his presentations, he used to say something like, today I will introduce you to the world's thinnest laptop. Everybody used to now anticipate and wait for that thinnest laptop. Number two, don't share a PPT. Don't read out the words which are written on the presentation. Don't read them out. Take people on a storyline. Take them on a joyride. Steve Jobs used to take people, his audience, into a joyride. He used to take them and tell them stories about a future which they had not imagined. And when you tell a story, when you take people from their boring present life into a story of the future, how their future would look such interesting. Will just imagine when he used to tell people that in on a future date you'll be able to download your images from Google 20 times faster. How would the audience have felt? Taking your audience on a storyline, on a joyride, helps to attract their attention. Do this always. Number three, use catchy headlines. Use Twitter like headlines. World's thinnest laptop in your hand. 1,000 songs in your pocket. These are the ways Steve Jobs used to introduce his topics. And when you use a headline like that, everybody in the audience would want to listen to every word you speak. As I keep on saying, your 15 words are as important. Your first 15 words are as important or are more important than the next 15,000 words. Your 15 words are very, very important. How you start is very, very important. And Steve Jobs used to do this amazingly well. Next, always have a big villain. People are struggling with their problems. People just want to avoid the present scenario. They want to move into a faster, better, and much cheaper world. When Steve Jobs introduced the MacBook, he compared that with the present day scenario at that point of time. Now, on one hand, Steve Jobs' MacBook was as thin as an envelope, whereas the bulky IBM PC, you could not carry it everywhere. the world's thinnest laptop compared to the world's bulkiest mainframe PC. Everybody wanted to buy the other version, the better version, the smarter version, the faster version compared to what they were struggling right now. So you have to introduce the current problem as the villain and make the villain sound so very huge that when the hero enters, everybody stands and claps for that particular solution. Steve Jobs' secret, again, which can take your presentations to the next level. Always have a villain ready and then introduce a hero. Always have the antagonist look very, very huge and daunting, and then introduce your protagonist, the hero. Next one, don't just give the statistics. Statistics can be very boring. Statistics can put your people to sleep, your audience to sleep. Now, what is that you can use to convert statistics into a tangible thing your audience can relate to? 128 GB of memory can be told in a different way. If you use 128 GB in your phone, you can watch 1000 movies non-stop. You can keep on listening to music. You can go to the moon and come back, and still the music will be playing. That is 128 GB. With 108 megapixels of your mobile camera, you can shoot like a DSLR movie. That is when you convert your numbers into a tangible format your audience can understand. Make analogies, compare them with the other options available. As cheap as a pizza, you have to pay only 99 rupees that you would have otherwise spent on a pizza. You are comparing things, converting a number into a particular visual, and that visual will be remembered more, will be much more interesting than those dry statistics. Use that. Next thing, human mind is limited. You receive so much information on a daily basis, your brain does not know what to store and what to delete. And Steve Jobs knew this. So he used to tell at maximum only three key messages in all his presentations, not more than three. So any slide of his was not more than three particular points. The final message that he wanted to leave his audience with was not more than three, because human mind is limited, and if you give extra burden to the human mind, it will try to forget and will not remember what is your key point. So if you want your audience to remember you after you have given your speech or your presentation, tell them not more than 3 points. Sell dreams. People are very, very bored with their present life. They're not enjoying their life as of now. Think like this and sell them a future with infinite possibilities. Tell them that in the future, life will look much brighter, and this is how life will look like. And then you have had the attention of all your listeners. Selling them dreams, selling them a future which is much more brighter, peaceful, happier than their present scenario. So present day, they're struggling with their problems, but at a future date, they are happy that those problems are solved. Just try to sell them those dreams, sell them the happier version of their self, sell them the faster version of that particular person, sell them the cheaper version. They're getting the solution at a much, much lesser price compared to the present day, and these dreams will be bought by your audience very, very easily. Simple, visual, and decluttered. Look at this particular slide. There is only one visual which has been used. There is a white background and very simple words are used. This is how Steve Jobs also used to make his presentations. He used to make it even better. He used to use either words or picture, not both. Only one word, only one picture. That is how you Make it very, very simple, like Steve Jobs. And when you do that, your audience has got only one thing to look at and only one visual to actually see. Otherwise, if there is a lot of content in your presentation, the audience will get confused, maybe start reading those words, and they will not be able to connect with you. You will lose them. Okay, you will not have their attention 100%. Then Steve Jobs used this particular technique. He used to break his presentations into every 10 minutes, he used to change the topic. He used to introduce a new speaker. He used to introduce a new concept after every 10 minutes. Reason: human mind cannot take things beyond this particular time. So Pomodoro technique is the way maybe he used his particular presentations to form, wherein what he used to do was he used to break his presentations into small chunks. Attention span of human beings is declining because of a lot of technology. People are not able to concentrate on a topic for very long, and this is what Steve Jobs understood, and that is why he kept on breaking his presentations into small chunks of 10 minutes each. So this method can be used by you also. Try doing this. This will take your presentation to the next level. Next, what Steve Jobs used to do was he used to have his presentation full of words like amazing, extraordinary, awesome, cool. And the reason why he used it, because if you are not excited about your company, if you are not excited about your presentation, your topic, how do you think and why do you think your audience will be interested? So whenever you are giving a presentation, use as many powerful words like amazing, extraordinary, awesome, cool, and a lot of other such words so that you can connect with the audience. Because the audience is looking at you. You are more important than the presentation. Use these words and you will arouse them into a next level of audience. Focus on people's problems. This is very important. There are so many problems your current customers and your audience is struggling with. Think about what your audience is looking at in the rooftop when they go to sleep. What are they looking at on the ceiling when they go to sleep? Those are the problems you should be addressing in your particular presentation. Look at this particular picture. How does it relate to Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs knew that people were struggling to type on this keyboard, on the small keypad of a small handset. And that is why he introduced only one button. Not having hundreds of buttons, only one button will solve your problem. That is the solution Steve Jobs gave. And when he removed 100 buttons with one button, everybody started queuing up for buying that new product which Steve Jobs had built. Focus on the customer's problem. Focus on what your customer is not able to sleep with, on his problems. And then you'll suddenly find a deeper connect with the audience members. Steve Jobs never used to read a script. When you read a particular script, you would have seen so many people who read the content of a speech word for word. Those are the most boring presenters. When you don't have a script, when what you have are only bullet points, then you are there in the presentation, you are using different words, you are using a variety of combination of words and a different methodology every time. In that case, you will not be boring. What you repeat every time can become boring. But if you're not having a script, there is no chance that you will be boring ever again. Use this particular secret, and then you will be able to succeed. Now, last but not the least, what Steve Jobs used to do was he used to make his presentation sound effortless, look effortless. It used to feel that he is so effortless. And how do you become effortless? You become effortless by continuously rehearsing and continuously practicing. So Steve Jobs, in one particular presentation, used to work for hours and days and weeks and months altogether. And that is why when he used to make the final presentation on the D-Day, it used to look impeccable. It used to look effortless. Words used to flow from his mouth as if they were just flowing like water. How did that happen? Through continuous rehearsals. You can also do the same. I have been telling in the earlier classes also, for every 2 minutes of video that you make, for every 5 minutes of video content that you make on YouTube, you should be prepared with 50 minutes of content. You should have rehearsed for 50 minutes, and then you create a video for 5 minutes, and then you will see that the level of your video, the level of your content, the confidence and the effortlessness you have on your video will be much, much higher compared to the other particular researches you have done. This is how Steve Jobs used to make his presentations look awesome, impeccable, and that is how he became the number one presenter the corporate world has ever seen. So I think in this particular video, I have tried and covered and given you all those secrets which are very, very important for the point of you becoming $1 million communicator. You can use these videos to actually enhance your communication skills. Watch this video again and again. Share it with somebody whom you think requires these kind of tips and tricks to take his presentation level, to take his public speak level from X level to the next level. That is how you can all improve. Keep watching, keep sharing. Thank you.